Well, hey guys, Larry here from L&M Homestead. Can't talk hardly. L&M Homestead, and I think I'm gonna be working on this today. I got the trailer all fixed up. I had it parked right here because it was just easy access to it, but I would actually like to park it here where this camper is. I had the boys working on this off and on when I didn't need them for other tasks and stuff to kind of mess around with it. I just kind of left them on their own with it and stuff. I think mostly they use it as a climbing gym. They have chains wrapped over it, and they would like rappel up and down it, and I'd see them down here sitting on the roof just talking and stuff and hanging out and stuff. I really didn't push them that hard, but I need to get this taken care of because I want this thing gone. I need to get it all taken to the dump. So I'm going to finish tearing this apart, I think, today. I think I can get this knocked out here today and tomorrow. Get all the windows out, peel all the rest of the siding off, take everything out of it that's going to go to the dump, and then come in here with the backhoe and crush it all up and take it down and put it on my burn pile and get rid of this thing. It's got a concrete pad here. This used to be where a small building was, and it'll work good for parking because I can actually plow it real easy, but the concrete is kind of junk. It's kind of all bowed in. For now, I'm just going to leave it like this for right now. Eventually, I probably will pull this concrete out and chisel and bust it all up, get it out of here and stuff, and make something nice in here, because eventually the driveway is going to come in here, and I was going to make this kind of a wider, like a circle thing, mostly for like deliveries and stuff, and probably put like a little thing right here, like a little shack type thing that would have doors on it and stuff for the UPS and FedEx to deliver packages in it, and maybe have some flag when they open the door. If flag pops up, lets us know up at the house we got a package in there and stuff, because we're going to be putting a gate across the driveway right here. So that's kind of thinking a little turnaround thing right in here would be good. So I'm going to get working on this. I'm going to pull the windows out of it and start ripping that metal siding off and peeling the roof off and everything. And once I get that done, then there's a couple things inside I got to tear apart that are going to go to a junkyard, and then I'm going to take the backhoe and just smash it all up and put it on a burn pile and burn it up, get rid of it. Then I can move the trailer part off and put it someplace else. Eventually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make an enclosed trailer on this frame. These frames are really nice, got nice axles on it and everything. And I think what I'm going to do is build a floor on it. I think first what I'm going to do is take that hitch off and make it into a gooseneck. I kind of have fallen really in love with the gooseneck trailers. I got that big gooseneck trailer. It's so much more stable going down the road, pulls so much nicer. It was really, you know, it's nice. I just like them instead of a hitch one. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this into a gooseneck setup, and then I'm going to build an enclosed trailer on here. It's always nice to have an enclosed trailer. I think that'd be a good purpose for this. Not going to happen right now. This will be after we get the house built and everything else, and I got some time. But I want to get this axle, or get this frame all put out and get the top of it all ripped apart, get it down to the frame, and then I can store it over there and it's not in the way and not a problem anymore. So I'm going to get to work, start tearing this thing apart. Well, as I'm tearing this all apart, it's always such a fascination in how expensive campers are and how cheaply they are built. It is pretty crazy. But I mean, they do this. These are not actually 2x2s. They're a different size than a 2x2. But I mean, it's very, you know, flimsy and stuff. But then they put this insulation in it, which is basically an inch. It's an inch of insulation in there, you know, and they say they're insulated. And then the whole thing is wrapped with this. It's basically cardboard with a little piece of styrofoam in it. And then they staple the aluminum siding over the top of it. And it's just kind of crazy how they're just so junky and stuff. And you wonder why they only last for a few years and gets it a little leak and the whole thing just rots out. But yeah, I'm making my way on this thing. I got all the stuff pulled out of it. The stove, sink, basically any kind of glass I'm pulling out and stuff, because I'm going to use the boom on the backhoe to basically just rip this all apart, put it in a pile. I can just throw it into the dump truck and then put it onto the burn pile and stuff. I'm hoping this floor, I'm hoping I can grab it and it just busts off the frame of it. I don't have to crawl underneath this whole thing and try to do something underneath there. But yeah, I got all that stuff all pulled out and everything else, and I'm kind of cutting most of the wires and everything else. Some of it, I just whatever, you know, stuff will burn up, and then I'll go and clean up the mess afterwards. But got the refrigerator out, there's a stove, all the stuff, all the windows. I'm gonna actually put this on Marketplace, see if anybody wants this stuff. It's a furnace. Maybe somebody building a camper or something like that could use this stuff. I don't know if it works or not. It's whatever. But I think I'm just gonna put it on Marketplace. I think it'll just be free. They can just come and get it. I don't have a use for it, don't have a place to store it, and I just think that maybe somebody out there can use it. So we'll see. Well guys, I am going around picking up anything metal, anything that won't burn. This is just some of the wiring that I've pulled out of this thing. These campers have a lot of wiring in them. Still some down there, trying to get down there to that part of it and everything else. Basically, I'm just gonna put them all in a bag and everything. I am actually keep a lot of this wiring. I mean, that's fine. And I can just store it someplace. I need a piece of wire or something for something. A lot of it's low voltage, but could be used as for it. The house type wiring I probably won't use. It's the smaller sections anyways. So. But getting there. I just got done picking up all the insulation out of all the camper. I got all the glass out of it. And I am about to start destroying this thing. Well, there she goes. She's pretty much destroyed now. It's a big pile of stuff. I gotta go through here and pull the metal stuff out, the big heavier metal stuff. There's gonna be some stuff that's gonna be in the fire. And now I can get to some of those other wires, but there's gonna be some stuff in there that's gonna be that's gonna get, you know, in there and stuff. I'll have to go in after it all burns up and pull all the metal chunks and junk out of it. I kind of did a little damage to it with the bucket. I got a little bit aggressive. I nicked the cross member there. They're not very strong. Bent up this one a little bit. This one here actually broke loose. The weld just actually broke loose. It's kind of bent like a U. I grabbed it with a tooth and pulled on it. But yeah, these ones in here are not very stout. Not really sure if it needs to be or not. The ones on the sides, these are solid, and the front and all that stuff, and the cross braces and all that, the corner braces and stuff. It's the ones going across, they're just kind of flimsy. They probably don't need a ton of strength in here. But these ones out here in the edge that poke out here in the edge, those there I will probably cut off anyways, because I will actually make this trailer wider. I'll make some braces and make it wider and probably make it probably 9.5 feet. I don't know, a little, probably make it the same width as my dually. That's the, you know, make it the same width as that. Tires can be in the inside of it. That's fine. Mainly what we're going to be doing with this is having it so that I can have an enclosed trailer. So if we need to go get some materials or go get something when we build the house, you know, need to go pick up cabinets or finish wood or something like that, that we can go get it, and on the way back if it rains or something, it's protected. And then in the future, then I'll have an enclosed trailer, maybe on a snowmobiling trip or something, can load up a bunch of snowmobiles in here and stuff. So that's the ultimate plan of it and everything else we're going to use it for. I guess I got to be a little more careful. I noticed that I hit one and picked the whole thing up, and I went, eh. But yeah, so I'm basically going, the tires are all junk anyway, so I ain't worried about those. That one over there I actually knocked right off the rim. But I'm going to see what I can do and peeling the rest of this stuff off. Excuse me. My throat is getting an itch. I'm getting sick by being out here in cold weather. But I'm going to go through this stuff and grab anything and metal junk and everything, pull it out of there and the wiring and stuff, and then start loading it up in a dump truck, and so I can take it down there and dump it on the burn pile and get that whole process going. So yeah, so everything is ready to go. I'm just gonna I'm gonna pack it up for the day. The sun is starting to go down over the trees here. It's right at the treetops. I've been sitting out here cold all day and everything. So I'm probably gonna go dump the last load here with the dump truck down there. Got a pretty good pile, so probably Monday or Tuesday I'll come out here in the morning and it won't be windy. I'll light that up and burn all this stuff up. But I got it all sitting out here. A pile of all the aluminum siding stuff. That big roll back there was actually underneath the whole thing. It went all the way underneath it, well, about 3/4 of it. And it went all the way to frame and covered it and was screwed in there. I actually think that would be a good idea to put that back on to keep snow and rain and stuff from going up underneath the floor and then getting to the wood floor and then rotting it. So I like that idea. And there is a couple little cuts in here and there where there was like LP lines going through and stuff like that. I can patch that stuff up. But so I rolled that up. I'll probably keep that. All the rest of the stuff, I got like a pile that's going to the scrap yard. All that pile of aluminum siding and all the other aluminum chunks and stuff, that'll all go to the scrap yard, and I'll turn it in for aluminum, get a couple bucks for it. All the rest of the stuff is sitting there. There's a furnace, there's a refrigerator, there's a stove, oven, there's a inverter, power panel. I mean, everything is sitting there. And I ripped it all out, and I was careful with the stuff, made sure I disconnected so it could be used again. And I was careful with it, and I did put it on Marketplace and said, I'm not sure on whether the stuff works or not, but if you want it, it's free. And I said, please don't ask me questions on it. I don't know anything about it. It's an old camper. It's getting destroyed, and I'm just cleaning it out. Come and get this stuff if you want it. I had probably a dozen people contact me with questions. Do the appliances work? Look at the description, you know. I have some people, I'll take all the siding. And I said, well, the siding is all ripped off. It's in a pile. And then they were like, oh. And then they wanted the drain from the black tank because theirs was busted on their camper. I'm like, that one's busted off too. And I took a picture of the siding. That's what the siding looks like. If you need some patches or pieces to do your camper, I said, you're welcome to come out and dig through and grab what you want. I don't care. I had about a dozen people that said they wanted to come here, ask for my address and stuff. Nobody showed up. So I'm not sitting out here behind a little table in a lawn chair like I'm having a yard sale here. So I'll either come and get it or you don't. By doing this, I could have just taken the thing to a junkyard and they would have smashed it up with a boom thing and stuff and ripped the metal out of it the best they can. And they would have ended up, you know, probably they would have gave me a few bucks for it even too. I don't know. But the thing is that I don't believe in putting older stuff into the junkyards and into the dumps and stuff like that. And I used to have this neighbor over at the Uper house. This guy would get so upset at me because I would burn trash. And I had a burning barrel out there. It was perfectly legal in that area. It was a burn county. You could burn your garbage. Everything else was legal. This guy had a little pond in the back, and he had these little fish in there. And he would always see that my ashes would get into the pond. It was completely away from it. This guy would get all upset. He'd actually talk to me like a child. And finally, I just said, whatever, and I just walked away. But I don't get that whole thing where, and he was trying to say, well, you should do as I do, and you should put it in bags, and then on the weekend take it to the dump and stuff. And I'm like, that's horrible for the environment. And no, burning, you know, this stuff is horrible. No, I separate, you know, the plastics and the metal and the glass. I separate all that and take care of that the way it should be. But stuff that's burnable, I burn it. That's, you know, and people always argue with me about this and stuff that, oh, no, you take it to the dump, it's done right. No, it's not. Because I don't know if you guys remember or not, but there actually used to be a dump on this property. It's right down at the end of the driveway. There's a spot down there where there used to be a dump for a small little town here. And it was a big concern when we were looking at the land. And I did a whole bunch of research. I contacted the health department. I was the clerk at the courthouse and stuff. I was looking for any records of what possibly could be in this dump that could maybe be a hazardous thing or something. And I actually contacted Eagle Department in Michigan here. And everybody was all working in it, and we all looked and stuff, and everybody came back to the same thing. Nope, it's deer hunting, so somebody's shooting. There's no records whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And everybody says the same thing. If there's no records, that's good. Because no records means that the mine's never dumped in there. So there's no waste materials in there. Okay, well, that's not deer hunting, that's just the kids playing next door. But that means that there's no waste material for the mines, so you're good. It's just probably a little city dump and stuff. And I had talked to people, and they said they used to go in there and dump the stuff in there, and then it was like a big pit, and then like once a year they would light it on fire and burn it and all this stuff. Well, when I was doing the sewer test and everything, the guy kept going, oh, go over here, go over this way, go a little further this way. And I was like, I'm outside the area, and I dug the test hole where he wanted, and I dug it down in, and I found garbage. And it was like bags of junk and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe somebody just dumped it out here in the field. So I took another couple scoops and went down about 4 feet, and it was solid garbage. And I was like, no, you just found part of the dump. And he was all like, well, I can't put, I'm like, why can't you put the septic on top here? It's a perfect place for it. But he was like, no. But by seeing that, because this dump that was in here was closed in the 60s. And so that stuff's been sitting in there, and it's still in there. And it's like, so taking stuff to the dump and piling it into a big hole and covering it with layers of dirt and smashing the stuff down and putting more dirt on top of it and everything else, the stuff's going to be there forever. How is that good for the environment? I don't get it. Now, if it's plastic or some, you know, other stuff, yeah, that's got to be taken care of the right way. But if it's burnable stuff, I say just burn it. And that way this camper won't end up in some landfill or dump or anything else. And I'll turn it into a really nice enclosed trailer. So it's kind of what I'm like. I kind of like older stuff, and I like to fix it up. You know, that's kind of what I do. So yeah, so I'm gonna head out and stuff. I'm gonna head home, go dump this last load, and I'm gonna head home. And me and the wife, we have a Bible study that we do, and the Bible studying is getting a little bit more intense. And last week was pretty rough, actually. It took a lot of time to go through it all. The wife had troubles with it, and I said, why don't we do it together? So we both can tag team this, and maybe we can get better understanding. So we're gonna have a little date night tonight, and we're gonna sit down and go through our Bible study together. So I think I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope that everybody out there is having themselves a great night, great day when they're watching this here video. And if you're not, you can certainly try that all over again tomorrow. God bless you guys. It's good to get this camper gone. I'll mess with it tomorrow. I'll take that propane thing off, hook up to it, park it over there in the other part of the lot. I don't know. I guess I'll store a bunch of this stuff, wrap it up with a tarp or something. I don't have room inside to put it in something. And I'm going to send out a message to everybody on Facebook. Sales closed. But then I got to clean up my mess here. There's a little bit of stuff left in here that I got to clean up and everything. So I'll take care of that. I also noticed that I got an oil leak on the backhoe. The hydraulics that makes the boom turn back and forth. The left hydraulic, the hose is leaking right at the fitting. So I need to crawl underneath there, see if it's just a fitting that's come loose or if it's a hose about ready to fail. So figure that out, because every time I park, I get a little circle of hydraulic fluid. So, alrighty guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get on getting. See ya.